Alrighty, looks like we've got Dark Ages and Nocturne, and not a whole lot going on from the looks of it. No landscapes. We got spoils and some spirits and the boons. The boons are for Sacred Grove. Spoils go with pillage, and you can get imps from Devil's Workshop. Which, on that topic, looks like the only draw. Imp is like a laboratory if you have unique cards in hand to play following it. But like, let's say you just had a bunch of imps and a bunch of mystics. Play one imp, play a mystic, play a second imp, can't play mystic anymore. So with imp, you often want a bunch of distinct action cards in your deck, and particularly non-terminal action cards. So your imp can play the one, then the next, and then the third one, and then a bunch of copies are good. But here, there's only one non-terminal action in the kingdom, and like maybe if you're lucky, you get a Will-O-Wisp off of Sacred Grove, which could be a second target. But you couldn't really plan to have more than like a single imp in this deck. There's very little in the way of draw, and there's absolutely no villages. Trashing, there's altar and monastery, that's fine. Plus buy, you get Sacred Grove, altar can gain things. But this is quite a low power kingdom. So certainly big money of some variety. Is Devil's Workshop any good here? Probably not. I think Imp actually looks quite bad. But how many times are you gaining more than one thing per turn? Such that you'd even be getting imps off of it? If you get one imp, I think that's fine. I don't think you want a bunch of imps. If you add a Devil's Workshop to the deck, it's probably mainly getting silvers, which also isn't amazing. Armory's doing a similar thing. I'm thinking double silver, try to get an altar, crash a few of the shelters. I don't know, maybe getting some like mystics and a sacred grove. I mean, in theory, you could gain a pillage, play it, and then rogue could pick it back up out of the trash. The trouble is if you play pillage and your opponent has rogues in the deck, they're the first one who gets a crack at taking the pillage. This would be perhaps better payload in an engine where you like draw your deck, play the pillage, then play rogue the same turn. I think for sure I just want to open double silver and try to get to. Actually, I said for sure and then immediately realized that's not for sure. The 4-3 split here is actually, I think, way better than the 3-4 split. Because specifically for hitting 6, if I buy Night Watchman here, discard one card, I'm next turn going to have a hand of silver and 4 coppers. And I won't have shuffled my deck. So if I buy an altar here, it gets shuffled straight back in for turn 4. Which is something you could not do on the 3-4 split like the bot has. Okay, that is certainly the best opening. I'm glad I did not miss that. Okay, this is not the best turn 4 draw. I mean, I'm happy to see the altar. Could be worse. It could be in the bottom 3. But I'd rather see it with the shelters if I could. Okay, so here is another fork in the road that I haven't really resolved yet, which is which 5s are worth taking. I mean, Mystic is the simple answer. It is barely better than a silver, but it is non-terminal, so it's a card that can't collide with the altar. I don't think I mind having at least 2 terminals in the deck. If they collide, there's at least a chance they collide with the Necropolis as well, because it can play both. There's also a chance they're in opposite hands, which is greater than 50%. So I think I'd rather take one of these 3. Pillage is kind of nothing, but if I then take a rogue, there's some minor synergy there. Just take rogue directly. I'm probably just stealing a bot silver, which isn't amazing. Sacred Grove is the most money. I'm gonna take a pillage. Pillage is fun. Buy a silver. And actions and buys. Play Night Watchman. Okay. Well, this is actually quite an awkward reveal because it means I'm very likely going to have terminal collision in the following turn, so I should probably discard like hmm, 2 coppers. I think that gives me only a 1/3 chance of the terminals colliding. Well, there's a decent chance I'll draw one and not the other. There we go. All right, I'll take that rogue now and a mystic. Oh, look at that. They're in the same hand with a necropolis. Okay. So pillage first. Haha. Got their altar. That was nice. I guess copper is the most likely reveal. Silver. Okay. Pillage back. And just one more mystic. Happy to see Overgrown Estate with altar. And just more mystics. Seems fine. Could have another terminal here. I got a rogue and a pillage down there. I think that should be plenty. Pitch all the junk. That is not a bad reveal for Night Watchman. Okay. Yeah, I don't even know what I've got down there. I had 1 copper in hand. I saw 3 coppers with Night Watchman. I trashed. I think both of those coppers are mine. That's 6 coppers accounted for. I think there's more silvers than coppers down there. Well, it was copper after all. There's a necropolis down there as well, which I guess is the highest value thing for me to find. Yep, spoils. Okay, so maybe it was 1 silver, 1 copper, 2 spoils, and a necropolis. I think I'm just gonna play the rogue here. Gets an attack, a weaker attack, but it gets me to 8. And I think I'm fine just clicking province here. Okay, I just wish for a copper. Okay, rogue. Just tap. And I got raided. Is Raider? Yeah, I guess Raider's fine if you hit 6. Obviously, the first 6 should be altar. But I'm not certain that a second altar is worth it. A second altar wouldn't be bad because it can gain duchies, but it is terminal. Raider is probably better than gold. The biggest downside of Raider relative to gold is you get the money a turn late, and you're only playing it every other turn. But in a very thick deck, that is less of a concern. And here we're not really drawing our decks at all. Ah, it's probably still a little too early for duchies. I think maybe starting next shuffle, I take duchies on 5. This is not a bad draw. I think I can discard all 3 of these and safely find at least 1 junk card to trash. I say, now looking at my hand and being uncertain. Okay, maybe that wasn't as safe as I thought it was. I should have left a copper in hand. I guess I just play the pillage instead. It's fine. Let's take a raider. Copper? Mystic, okay. And copper. I've already got 9 money. And copper is both likely and a card I'd be pretty happy to get off the top of my deck if I could. Mystic is also a card that I'd be likely to hit, but I'd rather leave the Mystic on top if it's not going to make a difference to me hitting 8. I don't want that. That's the one that gives you... Oh, it ran away. Can I view it from here? Nope. Sky's Gift is the one that lets you discard for golds. Mystic? Nope, copper. Maybe copper was a good wish here because it was the difference between 4 and 5, which might make a difference. I'll just take a duchy here. Silver, raider. Discarding silver is a pretty good hit. Gain the pillage back, probably. Not. I already got 1 Night Watchman in hand. Take a province. This is fine. Leaving myself with bare minimum of 5 money. So if the bot buys the penultimate province, I can at least respond with the duchy. Okay, this is 8 money. Can I get a province off the top? I think I'd rather just leave the mystic there. So let's just wish for curse and buy a province. Sure, I'll take a mystic. I wonder what could be on top. Mystic, perhaps? Okay, how lucky am I feeling? I think the most likely success rate here is, actually, I'm not sure. Probably Mystic at this point. Hitting any of Mystic, Copper, or Silver would be a win. I have a lot of Mystics, but I'm looking at a bunch of them already. There's 2 in play and 1 in the discard. I think it's still the most likely. Nope, it was Province after all. Okay, well, double duchy. I'm gonna leave the pillage. Obviously, it's not helping me hit Province, but it's certainly helping me deny the bottom Province. Ooh, that Raider hurt a bit. Rogue, I don't think I want that Rogue right now. It's not doing a lot for me if I play the pillage. None of this really matters very much because I got a 12-point lead and there's 1 province left. Yeah. Bot seemed to agree. Yeah, this one I think mostly came down to the early game shuffles. 4-3 was good, and I was seeing the altar fairly consistently. I also had a nice lineup of the rogue and the pillage early on. So yeah, I think the goal here is to have the 4-3 split.